Good morning, everyone. My name is Host's Name. I've been a general manager in the luxury hotel sector for over 15 years, and I've seen our industry change in some pretty incredible ways. Today, I want to talk about one of the biggest shifts I've seen, how we lead and listen to our most valuable asset, our people.
On behalf of the faculty, it's a real pleasure to welcome all of you from the Europe Hotel School. You are the next generation of hospitality leaders, and what we're about to cover isn't just theory, it's absolutely critical for your future success. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures a problem we've been dealing with for decades. We've been relying on these old, slow tools to measure something that changes by the minute: team morale. Think about it. A weather report from last year is, well, it's useless, right? It won't tell you if you need a coat today. And the same goes for old data about our teams. And that gets to the heart of what we call lagging data. In luxury hospitality, timing is everything. We pride ourselves on anticipating a guest's needs before they even have to ask. And yet, when it comes to our own teams, we've been stuck in reactive mode, waiting months to hear about a problem that really needed to be fixed yesterday. Frankly, that's just not good enough anymore. To stick with that weather analogy, these annual surveys are basically postmortems. They're great at telling you exactly why that brilliant employee left your team 6 months after they're already gone. They explain the burnout that led to a string of bad guest reviews, but only after those reviews are already online. The data is history, and by the time you get it, the damage is already done. So the big question is, how do we get ahead of this? How do we see the clouds gathering before the storm hits? Well, the answer, as it so often is these days, lies in technology. There's a specific kind of artificial intelligence that is completely changing the game for us. It's called natural language processing, or NLP for short. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Put simply, it's AI that has been trained to read and understand human language the way a person does. It's not just scanning for keywords like unhappy or broken. It gets the nuance, the sarcasm, the urgency. It understands the true feeling behind the words. Okay, so how does this work in a real hotel environment? Well, platforms like Staffbase or Workleap plug into your hotel's internal communication channels. The AI then continuously and anonymously reads comments, maybe from an internal news post, a quick chat message, or a digital suggestion box. It then analyzes that text for its deeper meaning and almost instantly sorts it into useful, actionable categories. So the result is that the system can immediately tell the difference between positive feedback, like, hey, the new uniforms are great, and a really critical operational issue, like, the vacuum on the third floor has been broken for days. One is nice to know, the other is doubling the workload for your housekeeping team. The AI finds the important signal in all that noise. Now, that's the theory. But what really matters is how this works in practice. So let's walk through how this technology plays out in a real hotel and how it turns a general vibe into a specific action you can take. I want you to think of this system as a digital smoke detector. You see, a traditional fire alarm only blares when the building is already on fire. It's chaos. But a smoke detector? It alerts you to the very first wisp of smoke, giving you plenty of time to prevent a disaster. That is exactly what real-time sentiment analysis does for team morale. So let's imagine a scenario. It's a Tuesday morning, things seem normal, but suddenly the AI flags a 15% spike in negative comments. And it's not just random, it pinpoints the source directly to the housekeeping department. This isn't just a hunch anymore, it's a specific, measurable alert. Because of that alert on Tuesday morning, HR can jump on it immediately. By that afternoon, they've discovered the cause. It's that broken vacuum cleaner we talked about. By Wednesday morning, a new one is in place, and the problem is solved. Now compare that to the old way. That same frustration would just simmer for weeks, maybe months, leading to burnout and people quitting. The difference isn't just speed, it's proactive crisis prevention.
Now, this proactive approach isn't just for finding problems. It's also incredibly powerful for measuring the impact of our positive ideas. We can do this using something called pulse surveys. These are just very short, very frequent check-ins that give us a constant stream of data so we can see if our solutions are actually making a difference.
For instance, let's say management decides to introduce a new family meal program before shifts. How do you prove that's a good investment? Well, with pulse surveys, you can see here a 20% jump in positive scores for workplace satisfaction in just 48 hours. You now have immediate, concrete data to show that your investment in the team is paying off. And here's the most important point. This technology transforms HR from a department that just reacts to problems into a strategic, proactive partner. For you, as future leaders, it gives you the tools to be true cultural architects,
to intentionally design and build a winning culture from the ground up. The strategic advantages here are huge. You can reduce costly staff turnover because you can spot at-risk departments before people even start looking for other jobs. You can see which of your announcements are actually landing with the team. And maybe most importantly, by giving people an anonymous way to speak up, you build psychological safety, where your team feels safe enough to tell you the truth. It all comes down to this. Modern leadership means moving from assumption to information. It's about replacing guesswork with real data. It is the difference between hoping you have a great culture and knowing you do, because you're measuring it every single day.
Let's just put it all side by side. The old way is once a year, it's historical, and the response is incredibly slow. The new way, powered by real-time sentiment, is continuous, it's predictive, and the response is rapid. We're talking hours or days, not months. You're moving from lagging indicators to leading indicators, which gives you the power to shape the future instead of just cleaning up the past.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about as you continue your studies and get ready to launch your careers. We've seen the technology is here. The strategy is clear. We know it's possible to build a culture where every single voice is heard, valued, and acted upon. The only question left is, as a future leader, how will you use these tools to truly listen to your team? Thank you.